This is my sleek palette collection, which I believe might be a full collection, sadly enough. This was kind of a happy accident. I just always buy these when they come out. They're so kind of cheap and they cheer me up and you don't feel like you've broke the bank with them. And it was only a couple of months ago that somebody asked me how many have I got, and I counted them and I was like, oh, I've got 30. Oh, sorry, I had 28, I think. And when I looked into it, there was actually only 31 at the time. They've released 3 more since then, which are included here. So I'm not going to talk about the quality. Everyone knows that these are great, and if they weren't great, I wouldn't have 34 of them. But I am going to try to say whether I think you can still get hold of these or not, as I think it would be quite a useful thing to know. Anyone who's looking to sort of collect them. So yeah, I'll make a start. We'll start at the back up here. So this is the Au Naturel palette. This is permanent. This was kind of brought out as a bit of a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked palette. I don't own the Naked palette, so I can't comment. But I have read several reviews to say that the MUA Undress palette is actually a better dupe. Moving on, this is the Oh So Special palette. This is another Naturals palette. Never gets used much by me as it's a little bit boring. This predates the Naked 3 palette by some time, but it does have those kinds of rose gold shades in it, so if you can't afford the £37 or whatever for that, then maybe try this one. I just apologise about my dog there, she's getting a bit hysterical because I'm talking to myself. This is the Sparkle palette, and this was 2011 Christmas limited edition. You would really struggle to get hold of that. It's actually a bit of a nightmare to get hold of, unless you find someone independently selling it on eBay. And this is another one. This is the Sparkle 2 palette. There are still some store sellers on eBay who have this, but you might have to pay a slightly premium price for it. This is the Garden of Eden palette. This has literally only just been released. Another kind of neutrals palette. I personally think this one's also a little bit boring, but it will get used for work and boring occasions. This is currently available at sleekmakeup.com, and I do believe this is limited edition. Here we have the Paraguay palette. This was from the Avoir La Pêche collection. This is a bitch to get hold of. This was the last one that I couldn't get, and I ended up bidding on this on eBay, and for what I paid for it, I could have gone and custom made an Inglot palette. Oh, it was ridiculous, but I felt like I had to have it because I had them all, which I know is a stupid thing to say. There's children starving in the world, but... This one is the Monaco collection, which was from 2012. This is another really rare limited edition. You can still get it occasionally. It pops up on eBay, but I don't think you'll get anyone with sort of any store owners on eBay selling it. You might find an independent stockist somewhere. And this is the Curacao palette, or Curacao palette. Once again, not sure how you say it. But this is another one that I think you probably just can't get hold of at all. But these two palettes, the Monaco and the Curacao palette, were so popular, they actually merged them into one palette, and this is called the Snapshots palette. This is permanent, so if you like the look of them, maybe give this one a go instead. This is the PPQ Me, Myself and I. This was the first PPQ collaboration that Sleek did. My last time I checked, which was a couple of weeks ago, there were a few store people selling this on eBay, in eBay shops. But not many, and once it's gone, that's going to be really hard to get hold of. And this one is also a PPQ Shangri La Supreme. Sorry, I get these next two confused. This is the Supreme palette. This is kind of widely available still on eBay, so you'll still only pay $7.99 for it. But this one, which is the Respect, PPQ Shangri La Respect palette, which came out at the same time, is another bitch to get hold of. And I don't know why it's just a peach palette. Like, there can't be that many people wearing peach eyeshadow, but I don't know. Celestial palette came out in December 2013, still available at sleekmakeup.com. Vintage Romance palette also came out in December 2013. Sold out though, so this is another one that you will strictly have to get from eBay or an independent retailer. It's also not available on the Superdrug website, unfortunately, but actually that's gorgeous, and that's probably my favourite out of them all. Graphite palette. I recently had a look on eBay, and I found one sneaky person in Australia who had about 6 of these in stock. with a little information thing in the description box to say that she'd found them. So maybe have a little look on eBay for that, but you will have to pay postage from Australia. But they were still, it was RRP was the same price, but yeah, postage from Australia. And this is the Bad Girl palette, which is actually really similar to the graphite palette. So if you can't get hold of the graphite, this is probably a pretty good match. This is also a really decent dupe for the Urban Decay Smoked palette. It's really similar, so yeah, maybe give that a go if you like Urban Decay. This is the opposite of the Bad Girl palette. This is the Good Girl palette, and I just think this is hideous. Once again, you can't get hold of this. This is a nightmare to get hold of. And I just don't know why I think it's horrible. I just think it makes you look ill. Just makes you look like you've got pink eye. Don't know what all the faff is over it. This is the Ultra Matte version 2, which is permanent, and Ultra Matte version 1, also permanent. Really recommend you buying those two together, because I think with the two sort of, the two sets of tones, the darks and the brights, you can come up with really multifaceted looks. But if you just use the one palette, they're either a bit too dark or a bit too bright. This is the primer palette. This is still available on eBay. Really mixed reviews on YouTube. If you want my opinion of it, it's crap. Don't waste your money, unless you, like me, have to complete a collection. Bohemian palette was actually a MAC dupe when it got brought out in, I think, 2011 or late 2010. I never used this because the white packaging, it just gets really manky, so this is still pretty much brand new apart from a couple of swatches, but really hard to get hold of, I'm afraid. The London 2012 Glory palette. This was widely available on eBay up until about 3 months ago, when it just seemed to completely sell out and now you can't get it anywhere. This is actually another one of my favourites. The neutrals on the top kind of really make the brights on the bottom pretty easy to wear, and also all the colours are named after tube stations or things to do with the tube, which I just think is really clever and I really like it. Really do like that one. Circus palette, once again, because of the packaging, very rarely gets used, also makes me feel a bit sick if I look at it for too long. Showstoppers palette. This was supposed to be like a best of the best collection, so these were the 12 most popular colours. I don't know who voted on it though, because it's boring. There's quite a lot of glitter in there, but I'd say this is just like a step up from neutrals. There's really nothing interesting going on here for me. Sunset palette, one of my favourites, really easy to wear. Still available at sleekmakeup.com. I think that's permanent. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say the Showstoppers one, still available on eBay. iCandy, still available at sleekmakeup.com, but is a limited edition, so once it goes, you're stuck to eBay. Lagoon, another one available at sleekmakeup.com, but once again, another limited edition, so once it's gone, you're going to struggle to get it. Safari and Jules are both, I think, 2009 limited editions. Don't think you'll be able to get them. Chaos palette was one of the originals that came out in 2008. This looks like I've used it, and I haven't. It's just so chalky, so crumbly, so soft that it makes an absolute mess. And to be honest, I hate this. I don't know why you'd want it. They're really not that very well pigmented. They're actually pretty awful. So I don't think you can get it anyway. Storm palette. That one is beautiful, absolute favourite of mine. And the original palette, another favourite of mine. These are both permanent, so these are always going to be available at sleekmakeup.com. Curious palette, another 2009 limited edition. Once again, if you go on eBay, there is one lone Australian seller who has like 6 of these in stock, but other than that, you're going to struggle to get them. And the Acid palette, which is also permanent. And that's not going anywhere. You see there's so many reviews of this on YouTube, but you never see anyone wearing it in real life. So that's all of them. I hope I've kind of helped everyone out a little bit there, but any more questions, please just comment and I will get back to you. Thank you.